Many thanks for following our YouTube channel Down to Earth. Organic weed control relies on sustainable, environmentally friendly practices. Here are 100 tips to help you control weeds organically. Preventive measures. 1. Mulch garden beds to suppress weed growth. 2. Plant cover crops to outcompete weeds. 3. Use weed-free compost and mulch. 4. Opt for weed-resistant plant varieties. 5. Space plants closely to shade out weeds. 6. Install landscape fabric in garden paths. 7. Employ proper crop rotation to disrupt weed life cycles. 8. Use raised beds to create a weed-resistant environment. 9. Practice proper watering to encourage strong plant growth. 10. Employ green manure for nutrient-rich soil. Cultural practices. 11. Rotate crops to disrupt weed patterns. 12. Hand-pull weeds regularly to prevent seed production. 13. Introduce beneficial insects like ladybugs for natural control. 14. Promote healthy soil through composting. 15. Use a flame weeder for weed control in walkways. 16. Adjust planting times to outcompete weed growth. 17. Employ companion planting to deter weeds. 18. Install drip irrigation to minimize weed-friendly moisture. 19. Encourage birds that feed on weed seeds. 20. Use a hoe or hand weeder for shallow cultivation. Mulching strategies. 21. Apply organic mulch like straw or wood chips. 22. Use cardboard or newspaper under mulch to suppress weeds. 23. Mulch around individual plants to create weed barriers. 24. Replenish mulch regularly to maintain effectiveness. 25. Leave grass clippings on the lawn to discourage weeds. 26. Apply organic matter to smother emerging weeds. 27. Use leaves as mulch in the fall. 28. Consider using living mulches like clover. 29. Utilize bark or wood chip mulch in perennial beds. 30. Combine mulching with other weed control methods. Organic herbicides and solutions. 31. Apply vinegar on weeds on sunny days. 32. Use boiling water to kill weeds in sidewalks. 33. Create a natural weed killer with soap, vinegar, and salt. 34. Make a citrus-based weed killer with orange or lemon peels. 35. Utilize clove oil as a natural herbicide. 36. Consider using corn glutamyl as a pre-emergent herbicide. 37. Apply horticultural vinegar for stronger weed control. 38. Mix essential oils like clove or tea tree with water for a spray. 39. Experiment with salt solutions on weeds in paved areas. 40. Employ neem oil for weed suppression and pest control. Companion planting. 41. Plant marigolds to deter nematodes. 42. Use basil to repel mosquitoes and deter certain weeds. 43. Pair beans with corn to discourage weeds. 44. Interplant carrots with onions to confuse carrot flies. 45. Plant nasturtiums to attract aphids away from vegetables. 46. Utilize borage to repel certain pests. 47. Grow chives to deter aphids and Japanese beetles. 48. Combine dill with cabbage to attract beneficial insects. 49. Use garlic as a natural insect repellent. 50. Intercrop tomatoes with basil for mutual benefits. Natural coverings and barriers. 51. Place cardboard around plants to suppress weeds. 52. Use old newspapers or brown paper bags as weed barriers. 53. Install geotextile fabric in pathways. 54. Create biomulches with living plants. 55. Apply a layer of straw or hay around plants. 56. Use old carpet scraps as a weed barrier. 57. Employ coconut husk or coir as mulch. 58. Utilize old wool carpets in the garden. 59. Consider using recycled rubber mulch in certain areas. 60. Use old blankets or burlap as temporary weed covers. Livestock and grazing. 61. Introduce goats or chickens for weed control in larger areas. 62. Use chickens in orchards to control weeds and pests. 63. Employ sheep for weed management in grassy areas. 64. Rotate livestock to graze and trample weed-prone zones. 65. Establish a movable chicken coop for targeted weed control. 66. Allow geese to graze in orchards for weed suppression. 67. Consider using pigs for weed control in larger spaces. 68. Employ ducks to eat weeds and insect pests. 69. Rotate livestock through pastures for weed management. 70. Use animals strategically to mimic natural ecosystems. Natural amendments. 71. Apply diatomaceous earth around plants to deter pests. 72. Use coffee grounds as a natural weed suppressant. 73. Employ baking soda to control weeds in sidewalks. 74. Mulch with pine needles to suppress weed growth. 75. Use wood ash around plants to deter certain weeds. 76. Apply Epsom salt in paved areas to control weeds. 77. Use sawdust as a mulch in garden pathways. 78. Employ crushed eggshells to deter slugs and snails. 79. Use cinnamon as a natural weed deterrent. 80. Utilize sugar or cornmeal to inhibit weed germination. Gardening techniques. 81. Employ the lasagna gardening method for weed suppression. 82. Practice deep and infrequent watering to discourage shallow-rooted weeds. 83. Incorporate edible ground covers like strawberries. 84. Create mounded planting beds to improve drainage. 85. Utilize rain gardens to capture and manage water runoff. 86. Employ companion plants to hide susceptible crops from pests. 87. Use vertical gardening to maximize space and minimize ground cover. 88. Establish terraced gardens to control soil erosion and weeds. 89. Plant in raised beds for better control over soil quality. 90. Implement a no-till gardening approach to minimize soil disturbance. Natural barriers and edges. 91. Install physical barriers like metal or plastic edging. 92. Edge garden beds with rocks or stones. 93. Use recycled glass bottles as a decorative edging and weed deterrent. 94. Employ old bricks or concrete pieces for edging. 95. Install woven willow or bamboo edging. 96. Create living edges with low-growing plants. 97. Use dense ground covers along borders. 98. Plant perennials along edges to suppress weeds. 99. Establish a buffer zone with gravel or wood chips. 100. Combine various edge materials for aesthetic and practical purposes. Remember that a combination of these organic weed control methods often yields the best results. It's essential to adapt strategies based on your specific gardening conditions and the types of weeds you're dealing with.